Hey everyone, Pastor George here, and we have our second question from Bill Heller. And so the last question he asked was, how do you balance Christianity and patriotism? And I talked about how it's not like a balance, it's more like a hierarchy of importance with your faith at the top and everything flowing through that. And as long as none of the things at the bottom contradict something at the top, then you're good, right? Well, so he asks a pretty good question here. So he says, more specifically, is it okay for Christians to pledge allegiance to the flag, or does this go against our allegiance to Christ? So, as you may or may not know, there are Christian groups out there who take a very strong stance against stuff like pledging allegiance to the flag, to making oaths, stuff like that. This has been a problem, not a problem, but a issue in Christianity for a very long time. Especially because you have New Testament passages that talk about like swearing oaths and stuff like that, and that you can't enter into them lightly, and that you have to let your yes be yes and your no be no, all that type of stuff. And so you have some Christian groups that say you can never really keep an oath of or a pledge of allegiance or whatever, and those would be groups like the Mennonites and the Amish, and also Christian adjacent groups. Heretical groups like the Jehovah's Witnesses who believe that as well. And this was actually a big deal, especially during the Reformation, because like if you don't know anything about medieval Europe, medieval Europe was a feudal system, right, with knights and stuff. Well, knights were nobility who had to swear to protect their lords, right? And so the whole feudal system is built upon people swearing oaths to each other and being able to defend each other, right? That's one of the things. It's, king swears an oath to his people saying he will protect them. People swear an oath to king. Church gets involved there as well. And so when the Reformation happened, which was coming out of the medieval period, oaths were still very important. People still made oaths all the time. So we actually have in our Book of Confessions, and I think we've read it at church before, whether or not Christians can keep oaths. And the Presbyterian answer has always been yes, right? When you make an oath, you have to keep it. Unless, of course, it violates your conscience, but then you really shouldn't be making that oath in the first place. So if you pledge allegiance to the flag, that's fine, right? This is actually something that I had to think about as well, because when you join the military, you're required to make an oath to defend the Constitution and stuff like that, right? And so when you make these oaths, you want to take it very seriously. And so I don't think I think a Christian can swear or pledge allegiance to the flag or whatever. But again, you have to do it within the context of things, right? It only goes against our allegiance to Christ if we don't pledge allegiance, if we pledge allegiance to the flag above Christ, right? It's only under that. That it makes sense. So I don't think that pledging allegiance to the flag is a bad thing, although I haven't done the Pledge of Allegiance since maybe like since 8th grade, so I don't even know if I can remember it off the top of my head. And so I don't know if how many Christian schools actually do the Pledge of Allegiance. Maybe I'm sure it's like half and half and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think there is a problem in necessity of these things. Whether or not the American flag should be in a worship space, now that's another matter altogether. Maybe someone will ask me about that in the future. All right, well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for the good questions. I'll see you guys on Monday or Sunday if you join us for worship, and I'll see you guys then. Peace out.